on the go today, and when it comes to certain forms of travel, I would have a short list of wearables that I would rely upon for those long hauls, and this one is near the top of the list. This is Pocketnow, and I'm Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? This is a look, again, at the Honor Magic Watch 2. Before I get started though, I should mention one of the first things that I did with the watch for this particular piece. I squeezed a workout in. Now there's probably going to be a lot of walking today, so I'll obviously have a lot of steps that will be tracked by the watch, and I'll talk about that again a little bit later, but I did track a workout and it went pretty well. It mainly does your heart rate as part of the tracking, and unfortunately strength training and weight lifting are not represented in the workouts app on the watch, so I just hit other and I got to work. There are other metrics inside of this particular app that I'll be talking about more a little bit later, including even the stress management one, and given where we're going to be going, I think that it's nice to be able to just take a moment, chill out, and maybe get a little bit minimalist with the digital usage. Now, if you saw my previous piece about the Magic Watch 2, you know that battery life is one of the biggest selling points of it, and to be honest, if I was going to be out for a long time, maybe let's say a week from home and away from a charger, this would be one of the only watches that I could actually rely upon to work throughout the trip. I should probably not let this charade go on for way too long, but I'm actually not traveling right now, which shouldn't be a surprise. Right now, I should be in Barcelona for MWC, but it was canceled. So in trying to take a look at this watch from like a travel standpoint, I thought probably the best thing to do is try and create those particular scenarios at one of the only places that is this beautiful in Southern California, or Los Angeles rather, the Huntington Library. Yeah, I hope you're okay with that little misdirect, but here I am chiming in about the usage of the Honor Magic Watch 2 in a more travel-like situation. But one of the reasons why I believe this watch would be great for travel is because it's also a very simplistic smartwatch, at least compared to its competitors. After all, when you're traveling, especially if you're in a beautiful place like I tried to illustrate by going to the Huntington Gardens, you do want to be present and in the moment. So it's not great to be taken out of the moment by constant digital distractions. So you just get the notifications that you need from the specific apps that are important to you. Take a look at the notification. You can't even really do much with the notification like reply to messages or anything like that, because it's at that moment that you see what is happening and you decide at that point to either respond or to look at the thing on your phone. This device also doesn't forget the fact that it's supposed to be a watch first. And that's why the battery life is so important, but also the always-on display is also simple. You can only get a digital or an analog face. It would be nice to have different ones so you can customize the look, but just being able to look at the watch literally at any time and know what the time is, which is the original purpose of a watch, is really useful. Speaking of which, it is now 3 o'clock. It's actually time for me to break my fast. And looking at some of the features inside of the Huawei Health app, ones that you can access here on the watch as well, I went ahead and did a stress test. Now, the watch can do this automatically by monitoring your heart rate throughout the day and whatnot, so you turn that on in the settings, but for now I just went ahead and did one stress test. Could be better, but maybe I need to take a little bit less time working while I'm in a peaceful place like this, but it's not too bad. With a medium stress level, I went ahead and got over to the Zen Garden and I sat down to do some breathing exercises. This one's pretty simple. You basically just turn on the breathing exercises app, one of the few apps that are on here. Most of them actually have to do with fitness and wellness, which is a nice touch, and it'll give you a visual prompt so you know how long you should be inhaling and how long you should be exhaling. Not really that hard in this particular scenario to have some peace and quiet, but still, it's nice to have something that helps you achieve that calm. This particular trip of mine, even if it wasn't far away, was at the tail end of a week and a half worth of battery life, which means that if you are gone, even if it's just for a weekend in another place and you don't have the charger, you can still do all of the things that I talked about in this video. I'm honestly surprised that I come back to this smartwatch as much as I do, but I think the reason why is because it doesn't try too hard and I don't need too much out of it. It's actually the closest thing you can get to a smartwatch that you can just throw on your wrist and have the same experience as a regular analog watch. That is to say that you don't have to worry about it so often. And then when you get back, you just throw it on the charger and you can get back a week and a half, 2, maybe even 3 weeks worth of battery life depending on your usage. That kind of reliability is always nice to have, especially when you're on the go. And so there you have it, another look at the Honor Magic Watch 2. I still think it would be a good travel companion, and even though I'm not like on a plane right now or somewhere else, I still think that it would have been a great thing to have, especially for the show that we're not all at right now, and that's of course Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. However, I tried to illustrate it by going to one of the loveliest places here in SoCal, so hopefully you got something out of that. Get into the comment sections below and tell me if you have an Honor Magic Watch 2 and how you feel about it. Drop some likes on this video and then subscribe to Pocketnow if you haven't already. And from there, we will just see you in our next video.